Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Thunder and Monsoon podcast.
Hey.
I'm Thunder,
I'm Monsoon.
and today this is not the Thunder and Lightning podcast.
Because Lightning is currently fighting off Godzilla.
Lightning, yes, the cannon. That's right. I already forgot. The cannon is that Lightning is fighting off Godzilla.
Single-handedly
fighting off Godzilla. It's a regular sized Godzilla and a regular sized Lightning. So figure that one out. And today we're gonna do the Thunder and Monsoon podcast, which you'll notice is completely identical than the rest of it. So we're going to start with news.
Okay.
Because that's how we do it now. The villain of my story, Gwyneth Paltrow, was on trial this week because there was a fatal ski accident.
Yeah.
I didn't really look much into it, but she did win. The court has favored that the ski accident was not her fault. Egg on my face that I saw that she was in court and I assumed it was a Goop-related lawsuit,
right.
but absolutely not, I guess. So that happened.
I was surprised that it wasn't. I thought it was like, okay, and then I clicked the article. It's like, oh, somebody died on a ski accident.
Yeah,
that's not good.
It has nothing to do with Goop. Goop must have like a rock solid end user license agreement. They just announced, I think yesterday, that there is a Scott Pilgrim versus the World anime.
I saw that.
Did you hear who's gonna be in it?
Everybody?
Everybody's going to be in it. I'm so excited. So it's going to be directed by Edgar Wright, the guy who did the movie. Literally every character is reprising their role from the movie, including Brie Larson and Chris Evans. And they're getting Anna Monoguchi, the band who did the music for the video game, to do the music for the TV show.
That's cool.
And
when I first saw that, I was like, this has to be a joke, right? This has to be like a early April Fool's joke. But then I saw it on comicbook.com and I saw the trailer on Netflix and I sent it to Chris like, is this real? And he was like, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Like, that's so cool.
Yeah. So it's Netflix putting it out. Netflix, for all their foibles, have had a pretty solid anime track list in the past. Track record rather.
Like Castlevania, Seven Deadly Sins. What else? Ultraman. Beastars.
Yeah. That one. Agretseku,
I
think is what it's called.
Yeah, that one. Funny enough, the same company who made Hello Kitty.
And Cells at Work, right? Did you already say that?
Well, Cells at Work I wouldn't say is like purely Netflix because it did come out on Crunchyroll. I think they just wanted the right to stream it.
Got it. And my favorite anime of all time, Little Witch Academia, wouldn't have happened without Netflix involvement. So I'm really excited for the Scott Pilgrim.
I'm excited to see the art style about it. I don't know which company's doing it.
Yeah, they keep calling it an anime, right? So it's probably not going to look like the comics.
Right.
It's probably going to I don't know. I'm really curious. I'm really excited.
Right.
So many people I just did not expect to see. And then do you have any news before I get to the big thing that happened?
So for the Gwyneth Paltrow thing, do you know what she got?
No.
She got $1.
She got $1?
She got $1. She was rewarded $1.
I mean, it seems like she was probably just trying to prove a point.
Yeah, but she was like, no, this $1 is symbolic of X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, okay.
I'm going to turn this $1 into a cream rub that you put on your taint.
And that way you'll make more money.
And that way I'll make more money from this money, and I'll stick it to the person I killed in a ski accident. Allegedly.
Let's see. Chris sent me a bunch of news. So, first thing. Deadpool 3 reportedly involves battle against Loki's TVA and Owen Wilson.
Oh.
So that's going to be... I mean, it's Deadpool, so I'm not too surprised about that.
That's interesting, if true.
Right.
I don't mind that. I wish that, and I know that this is not the point of why you brought this up, but I just wish that Deadpool 3 would come out. I don't understand how they were like, we've got an update on Deadpool 3. The old fuck who plays Wolverine is going to play him again 2 years from now when this movie comes out. And I'm just like...
Even though he's already dead.
Even though he died
Yeah.
in like a really poetic,
Way.
a great movie that everyone loves.
Right. Anywho, Disney lays off chairman of Marvel Entertainment. I don't know why.
Yes,
they
I
did
heard
that.
about this. Well, apparently he sucked.
That's a valid reason.
Apparently, he famously, or infamously, I guess it doesn't matter, but he is on the record in saying that characters like Black Panther and Captain
Oh
Marvel
boy.
should not be made into movies because they're not profitable, or they won't be profitable. He's that kind of person.
Boy.
That's who we're dealing with. And it seems like they finally
They finally laid down the law with him.
yeah, they finally were able to purge him from their system. Oh, he also wanted to like very early on. We're talking like maybe only like 2 or 3 Marvel movies are out. He wanted to fire Kevin Feige.
Oh jeez.
But whoever's above him was like,
Like,
no,
no.
we're not doing that.
Yeah.
We're absolutely not doing that. So yeah, that guy's gone. Fuck that dude.
Yeah. What else? Kanye.
Oh
my
no.
God.
Oh no, it's off to a bad start, whatever
I
you're
know.
talking about.
Kanye West says he's no longer an anti-Semite after watching Jonah Hill and 21 Jump Street.
Oh.
I don't know how to respond to that.
What? I think this man
Is a lunatic?
I think this man is a lunatic. That's a great way to put it. I don't know what that, because we all saw the memes of him talking about how he loves Hitler.
Yeah.
Which actually happened. He actually said that. What?
I'm sorry.
What
I
does
know.
Jonah Hill's performance in the 21 Jump Street movie have to do with the Holocaust?
Is,
I don't
is
know.
Jonah Hill Jewish?
Why does that matter? But this guy,
I don't know.
Why? I like maybe, but like, why does that? This guy. Oh my
yeah.
God. He just says things.
Yeah, he does.
He just says words. Is he AI? He might
be.
He might be AI.
Moving on. Said that. Oh, and then one more thing. So scientists have made a meatball. Get this. Made from woolly mammoth DNA.
Oh. What?
Because they can.
How did they do that?
I don't know, but it seems like Jurassic Park stuff, and we're staying far away from that.
There's no way that is safe for human consumption, right?
I mean, do people eat elephant? They shouldn't because they're gentle creatures, but
Right, but what I'm saying is like, if I killed an elephant
Right.
and then immediately cooked it, my body's gonna be fine.
Right.
That mammoth has been dead for like over 1 million years.
yeah, I honestly don't know. Like it's like when Chris first sent this to me, I'm like, oh, it's Meatwad from Aqua Teen Hunger Force, which we've actually gotten pretty into. And then I saw I saw the thing, and I saw the title. I was like why? And then he was like, I don't know, it's just interesting. I mean, it is interesting, but it's like it's Jurassic Park. Like, don't we all saw the movie. How it
Yeah.
There were like 6 movies to emphasize why this is a bad idea. So
Yeah, I can't. Sometimes stories like this break where you can tell that the scientists saw Jurassic Park and was like, I could fucking do that.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
could
like
do it
that's
with-
not the point
I
of
know.
the movie. It's bad what happens
Yeah.
in those movies. Don't
people
do
getting
that.
like eaten and like just ripped apart by dinosaurs. Anywho, that's it for news from me.
Okay,
Oh,
so
sorry, and also Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen knows his Donkey Kong voice in the Super Mario Bros. Movie is just his voice,
oh,
so he's not putting in any effort either.
okay. Cool, man. Great. Awesome. Good for that. Great. That guy seems great. Okay, let's talk about Jonathan Majors.
Yes.
So this story is still developing. So there's a big, huge, allegedly,
Right.
around everything I say, but allegedly Jonathan Majors had a argument with his girlfriend that turned into, or his, whoever he was dating or seeing or whatever, that turned quickly into physical violence. his lawyers are claiming that that's not what happened, and that they have, texts and receipts and,
Right.
and whatnot that prove that that's not exactly what happened. It's not looking good, but I'll be the first to say, like, it hasn't gone to trial yet.
Yeah.
We're still waiting to hear, like, exactly what's happening. I do want to talk about Marvel,
Yep.
who has been notoriously silent on the matter so far, because Marvel is in possibly the stickiest situation they've ever been in, because they
Right.
signed this dude on to play like
The
9 different
major-
villains over the next like 14 goddamn years,
Right.
right? So, like, between spoilers, I guess, between Loki and
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man and the Wasp 3,
Quantumania, yeah.
he's already played like 7 different characters.
Right.
He's clearly like he's the next.
Like, he's established as, like, this is the guy who's coming after the Avengers after Thanos.
Yes,
did his
exactly.
thing,
This is
so-
the next big bad, and because they kind of didn't do this with Thanos, and it worked out fine, but like they're establishing Kang now.
Right.
They're starting right now at the very beginning of all this,
Right.
of all this post-Endgame stuff. Phase 4, Phase 5, Phase 6. Literally the 5th Avengers movie is already titled, and it's called
Kang
Avengers
Dynasty.
Kang Dynasty. So it's going to be interesting what happens, because as we know from recent history, if this goes to trial, it's going to be quite some time before it happens, and it's time that Marvel doesn't have to just sit back and like wait to see if this dude is innocent. I'm really surprised that we haven't heard anything from Marvel yet. But like, they've been quick to pull the trigger before. We all know what happened to James Gunn, and James Gunn was basically didn't do anything, literally. I am curious to see what happens, because as the story goes, Jonathan Majors beat the shit out of a lady.
Right.
Doesn't matter how he's related to her. The facts are
He beat
the alleged facts are he beat the shit out of some woman. That's exactly what Ezra Miller did.
And then he still did get
Ezra Miller is still the Flash, and his Flash movie gets to come out.
Right.
And I can't help but notice the fact that Ezra Miller has white skin and Jonathan Majors has brown skin.
Yeah.
And it's gonna, I think that might be part of what Marvel's struggling with right now, because it's gonna maybe look kind of bad if, like, compared to their direct competitor.
Right.
How he, like, I don't know necessarily. It looks bad on everyone,
Yeah, it
really.
does.
Ezra Miller's Flash movie should not have released.
Yeah, like he's like done like so much like I mean, yes, beating a lady is not good,
Right.
but he's like Ezra Miller has done like more than that.
Right.
And it's like, why? Like, I'm glad that Michael Keaton's also coming back as Batman, but like still, it's like, why is this still releasing? I thought you would have like cut him off.
Especially with the whole like James Gunn
Right.
hard cut, we're doing other DCU stuff. I
Right.
thought for sure. And with the advent of like, oh yeah, the Batgirl movie is finished, but no one will ever see it.
Which is stupid.
I thought for sure that the Flash movie was gonna
Yeah.
get cut, but it's not, and it looks fine. But I can't help but see Ezra Miller's fucking stupid
Yeah.
face when I watch the trailer for that movie. Because that's the other shitty part. That movie does look pretty good.
Right.
It's just got Ezra Miller in it still for some reason. So it's gonna be. I feel like this story's probably gonna be developing for a few months.
Right.
So definitely check back next time, and we'll have more news. Hopefully good news, but I'm gonna be honest, it's not looking good for
Yeah.
Jonathan Majors.
It's gonna be very interesting what they decide to do.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah. So that is.
Oh, I had one more piece of news.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Guess who got indicted yesterday or today?
Oh yes, I did hear about this.
Everybody's favorite Home Alone 2 actor, Donald Trump.
Oh my god, yeah, I saw that too. Yeah,
He got
the
indicted.
discussing films Twitter they phrased it such. They were like Home Alone 2 lost in New York actor Donald
Yeah.
Trump indicted. That word, by the way, Why is it pronounced like that?
I don't know.
Because yeah. Anyways, yeah. So he's the first president in American history to
face criminal charges.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So maybe you don't know the answer because I definitely don't. What happens now? Does he serve jail time? He's still. I don't know. Like
I think that has to like go through like court stuff and everything, like the whole like courtroom drama,
right?
XYZ. But
because like, I will. Apologies to keep returning to this well, but it's just where you have to go with stuff like this. He is at the end of the day. Yes, he was a terrible president. Yes, he officially participated in criminal activity.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, he's a mega rich white dude. And those people typically don't go to jail.
Yeah.
I mean, like, fingers crossed, but like,
right. I mean, Harvey Weinstein went to jail. That's
true.
And then
no,
Jeffrey
it's
Epstein also went to jail.
Yeah.
Like, didn't kill himself.
He didn't. He didn't kill himself. He did go to jail. He did deserve jail time. He did not deserve killing himself.
Right.
So does this officially mean that he can no longer run for president? It does, right?
I would hope so.
I'm pretty sure it does.
Like, God forbid, like, we have a criminal as president.
Because I remember hearing a while ago that I forget what it was, but George Clooney was like.
Actually, let's look that up.
George Clooney, look that up while George Clooney was he was like protesting for something. It was like a good cause he was protesting for, but he was doing it like in a place he shouldn't have been. So he was like arrested for one night. And I remember people being like, "Now George Clooney can never be president because he was arrested." So, I'm curious because we all know that fucking Donald Trump wants to run for president again.
Oh, that's,
and I'm really hoping that can't happen. I can only assume that can't happen.
There is nothing in the Constitution that prevents someone who has been charged or convicted from serving.
Oh, okay, then interesting. then I don't know what this George Clooney memory I have is.
I mean, honestly, like, well, I mean, he just got indicted, so we'll see what happens. Like, it's probably going to be, like, he's going to try to bail himself out of this one with his, like,
with his money.
His monies.
With his Muppets Take Manhattan money.
Yes. I don't know what's going to happen. Like, I'm
Does he live in New York? Is that what it is? So they're like, just come film our New York movie. Because that's two New York movies.
Honestly, like, it's actually like a New York court that indicted him. So, like, I'm going to guess that.
Yeah, he must be a New York citizen.
Yeah.
Do you remember it was during his presidency, but someone re-edited Muppets Take Manhattan to replace Donald Trump with Hatsune Miku?
Oh, that's funny.
It's great.
Also, I guess New York City's like cracking down on security because of this whole thing. So
Good.
It's gonna be very interesting.
Traffic's gonna get even worse.
Yeah, thank God there's nothing going on there right now.
Yeah.
That we would go to.
Yeah. So that was news, and now on this podcast I go first.
Yes.
So I'm going to talk about my week. I went to PAX East. You also went to PAX East, but I, as usual, was working it. I'm not going to talk about anything that I bought because that's in the vlog. Yeah. I'm not going to talk about anything I played because that's in the last podcast we did. But yeah, without getting into too much detail, because I'm pretty sure I probably literally shouldn't, but there was an emergency at Team Sanchi, and the president of the company could not attend PAX East. So we were kind of in like not panic mode. Like we did a really great job. And the woman who my friend Mitch had to kind of take the leadership role. She really doesn't like leading.
Right.
And I'm sure she'd hate me saying this, but she did a really great job. So that was cool. And it was cool because that girl I was telling you about who like sort of just showed up for this one show, she actually said that she noticed that once setup happened that we were all just kind of like working together really well. And like the booth came together really nicely. And it was cool to hear her say that because I definitely see that as well. But no, everything considered, I guess the point I'm making is everything considered, I think PAX East went really well.
Yeah.
we made a thumbs up amount of money.
Nice.
I had a lot of fun personally. I made some new friends. I made some connections with a few game devs and a few
Nice.
industry people, which was cool. This is going to be in the video, but I will talk about it here because it's very, very exciting. And I don't think I talked about why it's exciting in the video, but I will do that now. So, I have a coworker. His name is Chris, hilariously.
Yeah.
So we were just talking because we've never met before. So we were talking, and the fact that I have a YouTube channel came up, and he was like, "Oh, I'll follow you." When he followed us, he noticed that he was follower 416. So he took it upon himself to get us to get the YouTube channel to 420.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to get high. It seems like he just wanted an excuse to smoke weed, which is totally fine. I'd honored to be that excuse. But so we got a few different people to sub. Now we're up to 419.
Okay.
I take off. I have a break, so I take off. I was trying to find the completionist. I did, however, run into She Says.
Okay.
From Boundary Break. So, a long time ago, like years ago, before COVID, we're talking like 2018, maybe even 2017, back when this channel had like less than 30 subs. I met She Says at PAX. He put out the call on Twitter, I want this NES game. I had it. I wasn't using it. So I showed up, gave it to him. We chatted a bit. I convinced him to tweet our YouTube channel. He tweeted on his Twitter about whatever video went up that day. And, you know, we didn't get much traction for it, which is fine. I was still very grateful for She Says. This is my She Says plushie right here. I was very grateful for She Says for doing that. Randomly ran into him this year, and I was like, I don't know if you remember me. I gave you this game. You tweeted about my channel, all that, and he's like, oh, I do remember you. And then he was talking about the NES game. Literally, he was like talking about playing, and he was like, it's hard. I did it. Yeah. And then he said, how's your channel doing? And I was like, well, funny you ask. Yeah. At the booth I'm working at, they're trying to get me to subscriber 420, and She Says, let me see if I'm subscribed. So he opens YouTube. He's not subscribed. So I filmed this. It's going to be in the vlog. But our 420th subscriber is She Says from Boundary Break.
Nice.
So, which is just like...
Full circle.
It's just so great. I couldn't have and I feel like the story would have been different if I was like, She Says is here. Let's go get him.
Yeah.
But I just happened to stumble upon him. He happened to remember who I was. He happened to ask about the channel. Chris happened to get me 3 subscribers in an hour. So it all just worked perfectly. It was very cool.
That's
She Says is awesome. I've met him a few times. And he's always so nice. And his channel is great. It's called Boundary Break. You should go check it out if you haven't.
Hey.
He takes the camera behind the scenes in video games and shows you shit that the devs didn't want you to see and stuff like that. And I know I've talked about him before, but forgive me, he keeps appearing on our channel in special ways. So that was very, very cool. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I don't want to talk too much about individual coworkers because as much as I want to, because they're all very cool and I want to talk about how cool they are. But yeah, it was just cool. I like making friends. I like all the people I work with.
Yeah.
I always say this. I've never met someone through Sanchi that I actively disliked, and that remains true. I love all my coworkers. I have one coworker who is very shy.
Okay.
And I've always respected that. But they broke out of their shell just enough this time for us to become friends. And I was very excited about that. They were telling me about their we were talking about how the eShops are closing, the Wii U and 3DS eShops are closing, and cuz we both had our own nightmare of trying to just decide what we wanted to buy and stuff.
Yeah.
And then they were telling me about that, how they have a very niche collection of consoles. They have a white version of every single console. Nice. And they were telling me how there's one white PS3 to promote Yakuza,
Yeah.
and there's one white Nintendo 64 that are very expensive, and those are like what they're constantly
That's pretty
watching on
cool.
eBay to like go to try and buy. So that was neat. And yeah, I don't know, it was cool. I worked with a lot of cool people, and if you're watching this on YouTube, I think I'm going to upload what we're recording right now today.
Okay.
So if you're watching this on YouTube the day it was uploaded, or if you're watching it on Twitch right now, a week from today, right? A week from today?
Friday? Yes? Yes. I think so.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, a week
That's
from
crazy.
today. Thunder and Lightning are going to be at the Sanchi booth at Anime Boston on Friday, and then Saturday you can catch me at the booth and Lightning and Monsoon around the show floor. If you were interested, that's where we are going to be doing Anime Boston as well.
So inclined to meet us, catch
Yeah.
up with us.
Yeah, and you can do that at Anime Boston. Anime Boston is going to be difficult, but I will.
I think you guys got it.
I will make it through.
Honestly.
Well, it's gonna be, without getting into too much detail, it's probably gonna be just me for setup.
Okay. Oh.
Okay. Which I've done before.
Yeah.
If Steve sticks around and helps me, then great, but I don't expect him to. But Friday should be fine. I was gonna do it alone, but Lightning. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. Lightning of Thunder. Lightning Gaming.
I think I've heard of him. Yeah.
He.
I think we like kind of live next to each other.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same bed, and all that.
Yeah.
No, he offered to work Friday with me. I didn't even ask because I just assumed he was busy. So I asked Kelsey and Catherine first, but they couldn't do it. And Chris is gonna do it.
You know what's funny too? Like he literally asked me, "Am I doing something like Friday?" I'm like, "I'm working at night, so like I don't think so." And he was like, "Oh yeah, Anthony just asked me to work." I'm like, yeah, "Go for it."
Yeah. Yeah. So Thunder and Lightning Gaming holding down the Sanchi booth on Friday. And then Saturday and Sunday I'll have a different coworker doing that for me. Not looking forward to it as much as I was looking forward to PAX East, but the emergency that I mentioned all the way at the beginning of this discussion also made it so that nothing was really prepared for Anime Boston.
Yeah.
So it was pretty much just up to me to make sure that happened, and talking to the co-owner of Sanchi reinforced what I assumed, which is if Sanchi pulled out of Anime Boston now, that would be really bad because you eat that deposit. Some places will fine you, but also you lose your whole oh, you guys are already here. You're going to be here next year too.
Oh, the continuity thingy.
Yeah, because apparently Anime Boston is like notoriously shitty to try and get into for the first time.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
I guess they have like a really bad system set up. At least in Steve's experience. So I was like, yeah, let's definitely make it work then. But yeah.
At least you won't be alone this time.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so that is that was my week.
Okay.
And PAX East. How was your week at PAX East?
It was good. Let's start with PAX East because I think that's the highlight of my week, honestly.
Yeah, totally.
So it was me and Chris's first time going to PAX East because honestly, I had never really I knew about PAX East like before, like I knew that it was the biggest gaming convention in the East Coast.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like before, like I wouldn't have gone alone because I probably would have been overwhelmed, wouldn't know what to do. And then now we go this year, and at first I thought okay, so it's probably gonna be a lot of games and demos and whatnot, so not a lot of vendors. But then you told Chris about oh yeah, it's gonna be there's actually a lot more vendors this time.
There was too. There was a lot more vendors than usual. I feel like 'cause last year, as we know, no one fucking showed up because of COVID. So last year was a dud, right? This year was pretty much operations as usual.
Yeah.
But there was maybe it's me, maybe I didn't notice, but you know how where our booth was?
Mm.
Basically, like, that's kind of like where the con ended last time. It was
Real-
just like
oh, really?
it was just like
Oh.
there, and then like the tabletop gaming like area, but like not many people inhabiting it. This time there was like behind my booth was like a bunch of vendors.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, PAX East has always been like it's video games and board games.
Yeah.
But it actually felt like that this time, which is pretty cool.
Right. Yeah, I like just going in, I was like as always, like going into a convention for the first time, it's like definitely overwhelming.
Mm.
Luckily, Lightning was like, okay, like let's just because we actually tried out a path, like scout out everything, and then we'll go back to the booths that we wanted to.
Well, at the very least, PAX East is in the same building as
Boston
Comic-Con. So when you leave the show floor, you, as someone who's been to Boston Comic-Con a few times, probably a little less lost than someone who's at a new convention hall for the
like
first
when
time.
we first went to PAX Unplugged, it was like where are we, like what is
yeah.
going on? But like this was a bit more like comforting because like okay, now I see like that's where Fan Expo like takes place. This is like where the panels usually take place, X, Y, and Z. And so as we were going through, like Lightning sees like his school's there, and like he gets a couple games from this this booth, limited run. Yeah, limited run. So now I'm thinking to myself, okay, like there's booths that like we are definitely interested in. And then like as we're like passing your booth, we actually see like I see like 3 different tabletop games and dice companies that I really want to get dice from. So
nice.
And then it was just fun. It was just like a regular con experience. Definitely would go again, like probably for the whole 3 days. But like,
I back when I used to attend, I would usually go 2 days because it's pretty hard to get a Saturday ticket still, even with the new prices they're doing. But obviously now that I'm an exhibitor, I go the whole time.
Right.
And yeah, this is definitely a con where, like, depending on what you want to do, you could probably have a fulfilling 1-day visit.
Right.
But like, if you like if there was a new Kingdom Hearts coming out and you were like, well, I've got to play this, that would basically be like
the whole day.
It would probably be like 3/4 of one whole day.
Right.
Yeah. It just how it goes.
Like,
but that's why I like demoing indie games, because that's usually where I spend most of my time when I attend PAX, because you're gonna wait in, rather than one line to play the new Splatoon game for 3 hours, you're gonna wait in 10 lines for 10 minutes each, and you're gonna play a good chunky 20 minutes of an indie game you've never heard of.
Right.
And that excites me because I love indie games, and indie games have started to get a lot more like industry backing, which I know kind of goes against the whole like term indie, but there was like I feel like indie games sort of like coagulated, and it was just like, yeah, that's an indie game.
Yeah.
But now indie games are like on an upward curve where like every indie game that I see that I'm like have a like even a passing interest in, I'm like, wow, that's a video game that's never existed before. You know what I mean? Like Wrestling Story, like that game has existed before, right? It's wrestling themed for sure, but combat gameplay, it's kind of just Paper Mario.
Right.
But like there are some games like Zoetti, the game I was talking about, that's like
game.
playing card. That game has never existed before.
Right.
You know? For every game for every Terra Nil that looks really good but is basically like, I've played a world building game, there's games like Cat Lateral Damage where you're like, that's never existed before. You created an entirely new like genre of game. I don't know, it's cool. I sorry to talk about video games on the Not Video Game podcast, but I love indie games. Also, I don't know if I told you this already, but I wanted to say on the podcast, I forgot to. I bought the PS4 version of the new TMNT game.
Oh, really? Yeah.
For
Shredder's Revenge? Or?
Yeah. From Limited Run.
Yeah.
And as we know, Limited Run always like goes all out with like bonus stuff. This was just the game, so I didn't expect too much bonus stuff, but it did have maybe my favorite limited run games bonus I've ever gotten. It had a sticker sheet, which is fine.
Yep.
It had an art book, and it had an actual functioning Pizza Hut coupon.
Oh, that's cool.
It's
That's
good.
awesome.
Yeah, I was like, what, is this real? And I looked online and
it's appropriate.
oh yeah, no, it's absolutely appropriate. I was just like, this is the best. I'm gonna have a pizza. It was like one. I think it's like you have to be ordering something else, but it's like
Right.
you'll get one free personal pan pizza.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was
I mean,
just
if you're
like,
eating pizza while playing TMNT, like what else can you ask for?
dude, you just die and go to Ninja Turtles
Yeah,
heaven
there we
if
go.
you do that. That's got to be like the most like that's like, oh, I went to a beach to play Mario Sunshine.
Yeah,
I ordered Pizza Hut,
There
and
we
now
go.
I'm gonna play
like TMNT.
TMNT and listen to TMNT music. Yeah, that's great. Sorry, I went on
That's
a
okay.
wild tangent while you were talking about your PAX experience.
What else? Like honestly, like just like some vendors that like me and Chris like absolutely love, like tabletop vendors were there, so that was really awesome. Overall, it was a really good experience. Then I had work the next day.
Yeah.
So honestly,
Did you
like,
guys
yeah.
did you guys visit Foam Brain Games?
Yes, we did.
Dude, I love them.
I mean, my God, I would honestly spend all my money there if.
Oh, I did the math.
There
I
wasn't.
spent $158 at Foam Brain Games this weekend. Cuz they had a $22 blind bag, and I was like,
really?
I'm going to do
Ugh.
one. Well, cuz it's really cool. So actually, yeah, let me show you this, cuz this is very cool. So it says it was $22, and it says includes one mystery monster miniature, and I wasn't sure
Okay.
what that meant. It says one metal D20 and one encounter card. So this one is for a Zorn. So you have the encounter card, and it literally just like tells you their stats and how to run it and stuff. This is like for the DM, you know.
Right.
And then it has this. This is the miniature, as they call it. So basically, what this is this is a pin that you wear on your shirt. But I think the point is, I'm the DM. I have this on my shirt the whole time. You
Oh.
encounter a Zorn. The figure bends like this.
Oh, that's so
So
cool.
now you can play it as a figure. That's what they mean by miniature.
That's
it's a pin
cool.
and a miniature. And then the metal D20 is also themed after the monster.
That's
There's a
cool.
Zorn on the 20 on the dice. So the entire blind bag is this one enemy.
Right.
And I got one of those, and I was like, this is incredible. And then I bought one of each. And then I bought they just had a restock of all their popular stuff, so I was able to get my frog dice.
Oh, nice.
And I got a new dice tray, because as awesome as my dice tray is, it's big. It's really big behind the DM screen. So I got regular Starry Night
Oh,
to
nice.
replace my Doctor Who Starry Night. And it's smaller, and it's like wooden, and it's cool.
Nice.
And it's Foam Brain Games, and I love Foam Brain Games.
Phone Brain Games should sponsor us at some point, because we just love them so much. Like I went there and I was like, oh, do I get something? Because like, I'm notorious for like spending like lots of money on dice, because I love dice. And I was like looking through, I'm like, should I get one? Like, and I'm thinking to myself, like, will I have time? I didn't end up getting anything from them, just because like I saw like a dice set that I actually got, like it's gorgeous. But every time I see them at like Anime Boston or like PAX or like
Boston Comic
Boston
Con.
Comic Con, I'm like,
Yeah, exactly.
just a handful of them.
Yeah, I
Like-
think at this point our whole table has.
Has at least like one Foam Brain Games.
Yeah, because I got
set.
Catherine that elephant
Yes,
set,
and then Kelsey has the cheeseburger one.
and she has a dice tower.
Yes, and then I could.
Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe.
Our channel has daily uploads from podcast video essays, Let's Plays to Skiff.
Be sure to watch on Twitch. We stream all our video game and podcast content live at 5 EST every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday.
Our intro is by Brad Kendrick and music by Froggy and the Friendship. Link to all that in the description below.
Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.